shocked by how many people never even consider new construction homes when looking for a place to live. It's likely due to fear or lack of understanding. So today, I'm breaking down the top 10 new home construction myths. These myths keep a lot of people from building a house and add a lot of confusion for those who do build. These myths could jeopardize a lot more than you think, and you need to know which new home construction myths are true and which ones are not. When you're done watching this video, you'll have the confidence to buy a new construction home and you'll be armed with the knowledge to make your home build a success. Make sure you stick around to the end because there are multiple myths that will save you loads of money and anguish. And of course, I'm saving the best for last. Strap on your helmet because I'm going to be moving fast. Okay, so when the time comes to buy a house, you have two options, old or new. Which one sounds better to you? If you said old, you likely have no clue how amazing it can be to move into a brand spanking new home. I guess that's why I made this video. Just so you know, I have personally built 5 homes for myself and I've guided hundreds of people through the new home construction process. Before we get rolling, I should clarify, there are basically 3 types of builders: custom, semi-custom, and track home builders. This video is geared more toward semi-custom and track home builders. Myth number 1, it's more expensive to build than to buy existing. This comes from a general understanding that it's cheaper to buy something that is used or old. When it comes to new home construction, this myth is both true and false. Why? Because the upfront cost to build a house is frequently higher than buying an older or an existing home, but usually just slightly. However, in some areas, you'll find that new construction is actually priced better than existing homes. With new home construction, most people understand that there are additional costs. You might be responsible for landscaping or a fence, but when you purchase an older home, the cost to repair and replace things can quickly add up, regularly exceeding the additional cost to build. A roof, the HVAC system, old plumbing, and outdated electrical can be expensive to repair and replace. And with older homes, there can be real safety concerns. Old wiring is more likely to cause a fire. A leak in the roof or a pipe bursting can cause thousands of dollars in damage, or a small leak could cause mold to grow inside your home. Mold, lead paint, and meth can be expensive to remediate, and they can make you very sick, as these issues often aren't discovered until someone is hospitalized. I don't think anyone takes medical bills into consideration when purchasing a property, but when you buy an old house without the proper inspections, you're taking a risk. For me, it's as simple as not wanting to deal with all the annoying issues that older homes often have because I don't have time to be constantly repairing things. Number 2, it's harder to get a loan on new construction homes. The confusion comes from 2 places. First, if you build a custom home, most likely you'll need to get a construction loan. Second, lenders who are inexperienced with the new home construction process struggle to get loan approvals for homes that don't exist yet. Otherwise, this myth is false. Should you choose to build with a track builder, the process is similar to buying an existing home. The main difference, you'll need to provide all documentation before the builder will start on your home. And then several months later, as the home nears completion, you'll be required to resubmit updated documents so the lender can confirm that you still qualify for the home. In other words, don't quit your job and don't make any major purchases like a car. An experienced lender will add some fluff in your original approval in case mortgage rates increase while your home is being built. Number 3, you're required to use the builder's preferred lender. The confusion from this myth comes from the builder's condition that you must be pre-qualified with their preferred lender. This one, however, is false. The builder cannot force you to use their lender, but some will do their best to convince you otherwise. And nearly all builders will attempt to sway you. They'll offer you a preferred lender incentive, like granite countertops, an air conditioning unit, a credit at the design center, or something of real value. It can be tempting, and often it is the best option, but you should always get a pre-approval with an outside lender as well. 30 to 45 days before closing, ask the lenders to do a final approval so you can compare them against one another. Builders want you to use their preferred lender because they're fronting the money to build your home, and they pretty much have all the risk, excluding your earnest money and construction deposits. They know that they can trust the loan approval from their lender, which isn't always the case with outside lenders. Not understanding that you have the option to use another lender could be a costly mistake. Why? Because the builder's lender could charge you higher than normal closing costs or give you a higher mortgage interest rate, which could cost you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Number 4, you can't do a home inspection. The confusion comes from builders who often make it seem like there's no reason to have a home inspection. But this myth is false. If you mention a home inspection, the builder's representative might tell you that there's no need because the house is brand new, or remind you that the home comes with a warranty, or they might explain how the city inspects every home at the critical points to confirm that it's built to code. These are all compelling reasons. Personally, I've built 5 homes for myself without hiring a home inspector. This is a perfect example of do as I say and not as I do. I've guided hundreds of people through the home build process, and most have chosen not to do an inspection. In Utah, most people are pretty trusting, and most builders are pretty trustworthy. But mistakes are made, and you should always hire a home inspector. To take this step further, many are fooled into believing that there's no need to do a home inspection because the home is new. This too is false. Most of the time, the inspector will cover the cost of the inspection by providing a list of missed or incomplete items by the builder. Usually, it's just a bunch of small things, but occasionally, the inspector will find something major. On multiple occasions, I've been shocked by the things that the home inspector found that both the city inspector and the superintendent missed. Some builders will discourage you or make it difficult to schedule an inspection. Simply reach out to the builder as the home nears completion to schedule an inspection date. The available time frame to have the inspection performed is tight, as the time from completion to closing is only about 1 week, and the builder will need time to respond to the inspector's list. Be warned, builders rarely do everything on the home inspector's list. Trusting that the builder will find and fix every mistake is cray-cray. Why? Because there's no such thing as a perfect home. Most builders do their very best to deliver a beautiful home. And really, they don't want to deal with warranty requests after you move in. But skipping the inspection could be a massive, costly mistake, especially because some of those things will not be discovered for several years well after the home warranty has expired. Number 5, you don't need a real estate agent when building a house. This often comes from the model home agent, aka the builder's representative. Let me reiterate, the builder's representative, who will tell you there's no need for a buyer's agent because they can do everything for you. Yes, the model home agent usually prepares the contract, collects the deposits, and sends the updates throughout the process. But this myth is false. Building a home is one of the largest financial decisions that you'll ever make. To not have professional representation, someone looking out for your best interest, is foolish, especially when a buyer's agent is free. You heard me right, the builder will pay your realtor. It won't cost you a dime to have a real estate agent on your side of the transaction. There are 2 reasons the builder would prefer that you don't have an agent. Number 1, they prefer not to pay them. Number 2, a realtor, especially one with new home construction experience, can protect you should things go wrong, and they can answer your questions without the bias that a model home agent might have. Your agent can also be a good sounding board. This is particularly valuable during the design phase. An experienced agent will know what options and upgrades give you the most value and make sure that you don't miss any important dates or meetings, among other things. There's absolutely no reason for you not to have professional representation. Reminder, if possible, find an agent with new home construction experience. Be wary of builders who discourage the use of a buyer's agent. I've been on both sides, often as a builder's representative, and more recently, as a buyer's agent. Truth is, builders love unrepresented buyers because they don't know what they don't know. The builder can easily manipulate those who are uneducated about the process and get away with things that an experienced realtor would never allow. If a builder tells you that they won't pay your real estate agent, you might want to look elsewhere. They do this to discourage the use of a realtor, and it's a brazen attempt to convince your agent to step out of the transaction. They may say so they can pass the savings on to you, but builders have proven that they rarely pass on the savings to their buyers, instead pushing prices as high as they can. So it's more likely they're doing it to increase their profits and to remove the added protection a realtor will give you. It's absurd to think that the builder has your best interest at heart. I'm not saying builders are looking to take advantage of you, but if something goes wrong, they will not hesitate to leave you high and dry to protect themselves. Find an experienced real estate agent before you start your search or visit a model home. Okay, 5 down, 5 to go. Like I said, I'm saving the best for last. As a matter of fact, the last item on my list just might be the biggest home building myth of all time. Myth number 6, builders are difficult to work with. This comes from social media and online reviews. The myth is both true and false, though I lean towards true. Reading over a builder's contract, it becomes clear that you're at their mercy. Builder contracts are one-sided. They have the right to cancel the contract due to any kind of hardship. They can also increase the price of the home even after you've signed off. And the builder expects you to be ready to close on the date that they give you and not one day later. But they won't commit to a specific time frame to complete your home. Should you not close on the given date, they can fine you hundreds of dollars per day. Most builders will give you a 30 to 45 day heads up, but I recently had a builder give one of my clients less than 1 week, and there was nothing we could do about it. Fortunately, we were prepared to close at a moment's notice. The home build process is confusing and often overwhelming. Some people can't handle it and become disgruntled. You'll save yourself loads of frustration and actually have an enjoyable experience by following these 2 recommendations. When you're done with this video, watch the ultimate guide for buying a new construction home. Then, to gain a basic understanding of how a house is built, watch the new home construction process simplified. I'll put links to both of these videos in the description below. Number 7, you cannot enter the home while it's under construction. This one is baffling, as friends and family members post pictures inside the homes that they are building. It probably also stems from the mindset, I bought it, it's mine. However, this myth is 100% true. The builder's contract will clearly state in some form or another that you cannot enter the home without permission. To make it more confusing, most builders don't enforce it. But there are a few things that you should consider before you step inside a home that is under construction. First, should you enter a home without permission, you are trespassing, which is a breach of contract. Though I've never heard of a builder canceling a contract because the buyer trespassed. The language is likely there for liability reasons, which brings me to my second point. It's dangerous. People often get hurt while walking through homes that are under construction. And some of these injuries are horrific. Someone who is trespassing would have no leg to stand on in court should they sue the builder. And please, for obvious reasons, never take a child into a home that's under construction, unless that child is your husband. A third not so obvious reason is that the builder also doesn't want you seeing every little imperfection. The home build process can be sloppy, and buyers often annoy the superintendent with lists of items that they already know about, many of which are non-issues. Despite the lopsided contract, many builders are pleasant to work with, and some will bend over backwards to make sure you have a great experience. Number 8, adding options can be overwhelming. This myth comes from social media, as people often complain about what should be the funnest part of the process. And by the way, funnest is a word, I Googled it, so it must be true. Anyway, for the most part, this myth is true, but that's not the case for everyone. Most people have a limited budget, and there are just so many incredible options to choose from. Often, buyers compound the stress of this moment by choosing to build a larger than needed home, in turn giving them less money to spend on upgrades. This is one reason I do my best to help my clients find a right-sized home, but that's a different video for a different day. After choosing the features that you need, often there's not enough budget left to add the things that you want. So add options that provide the most value or that will be hard to do later, like flooring and cabinets. Lighting and plumbing fixtures are inexpensive and easy to add after the fact. Warning, it's hard not to add all the bells and whistles. But if you listen to one thing in this video, let it be this. Do not go over budget. This can be a massive mistake, putting you in jeopardy of losing the house before you even close on it. Overspending could also push you over the edge in the future as you struggle to make your house payment and pay the bills. It's not fun living paycheck to paycheck where you're just one misfortune away from losing everything. It's okay to build a beautiful home that doesn't have everything that you want. It's a reality that most people have to face. You can always build your dream home in the future. If you stress out easily, many builders offer quick move-in homes where all selections have already been made. These beautiful houses are already being built, so the home will be completed in weeks and not months. This leads us to myth number 9. The home build process takes too long. This myth comes from 2021, the crappiest year ever for home builders. Though this has been a complaint that I've heard since I started my career as a new home salesperson over 18 years ago. Even in a normal market, it can take 9 months to build a house. And most people have a hard time not only waiting, but also with the home build process in general. So this myth is true. Over the last year or so, due to labor and material shortages, we are seeing much longer build times, often going 12 to 18 months, and sometimes longer than that. Though it appears that these issues are being resolved, as fewer people are looking to build due to increased mortgage rates. Waiting isn't all bad though, as most builders will lock your pricing once all selections are made. This will give you time to save money and prepare for the move. Also, some lenders and builders are working together to lock mortgage rates early to make sure you qualify for the home once it's finally completed. And as previously mentioned, you may have the option to purchase a spec home. as many builders now select a floor plan that most people like, add the most popular options, and start building the home, listing it for sale as it nears completion. There are loads of advantages for the builder to do this, but the advantage for you is that you can quickly get into a beautiful, brand new home, skipping the grueling home build process. I'm just gonna come out and say it. We are living in a dangerous time to build a home from scratch. The housing market is as unstable as Joe Biden on a bicycle. Did I take that too far? Anyway, in some parts of the country, home prices have already started to fall. In other areas, home prices could continue to appreciate, and mortgage rates could climb to dangerous levels, making homes unaffordable. I swear, the Fed is trying to crash the housing market. I could go on and on, but instead, if you're serious about building a home, you need to watch 10 reasons you should not build a home in 2022. Look for the link to that video below. Myth number 10, homes aren't built as good as they used to be. This is my all-time favorite myth, and it is as false as can be. I'm not trying to be rude, but it likely comes from individuals who know nothing about how homes are built. Maybe an old man saying, back when I was a kid. But in all reality, people who say this are probably referring to the fact that home builders are constructing homes so much faster than they did in the good old days. You know, along the lines of, if you move too fast, you lose quality, which, by the way, has been disproven many times over. So when I hear someone say they don't build homes like they used to, I smile and reply, thank goodness. I love to ask people what they mean, and it's usually followed up by sputtering, as they don't even know what they mean. You can argue that more care went into older homes. You know, the one grandpa built with his own 2 hands, and I'm not trying to discount the value in that. But building codes have become much stricter, and there are required inspections to confirm that homes are built to code. Building materials have become much better. Building practices have been refined to increase the quality of construction. And homes today are much more energy efficient, not to mention more functional. What more can I say? You should feel good building a house today, armed with the knowledge that it's much, much better than a home built back in the good old days. If you're serious about building a home, be sure to watch the ultimate guide for buying a new construction home. I will also place the link to that video below. Designing and building a home is an exciting and rewarding experience. Hopefully, I've given you some clarity. Remember to do your research on the different builders and gain a solid understanding of the housing market where you live. Should you decide to build a house, don't hesitate to reach out to a real estate agent in your city who has experience working with builders. They'll save you a lot of stress and hopefully get you into a great house quickly. If you're looking to buy, sell, build a home, or invest in Utah real estate, I get contacted all the time. Please feel free to call or text me with your questions. I'd love to meet you, and I'm honored to serve you. For everyone else, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. I always do my best to respond to each one of you. If you have a friend or a family member looking to build a house, you can easily text this video to them. And please, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty, the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.